Hello students, welcome to another video of English language. In the previous video, we understood what figurative or literal language means, and today in this video, we are going to dive deep into the figurative language, and we are going to understand what are the various types of figurative language. Now first let's do a recap. What is literal language? Words and phrases that convey information precisely and factually is known as literal language. Here we understand language literally. We interpret words in their straightforward meaning at the face meaning. And here in figurative language, expressions where words do not indicate their meaning at the face value. They convey or deviate from the conventional meaning and go deeper into the profound or imaginative impact of the word. Now, let's have one example. Here, one example says, she packed a lot of things in her suitcase. But in figurative language, we can say she packed everything but the kitchen sink in her suitcase. Now this is the difference. We'll see different types of figurative language: enjambment, repetition, metaphor, alliteration, personification, symbolism, onomatopoeia, simile, hyperbole and idiom. Come, let's study them one by one in detail. Now the first one is simile. What is simile? Here we compare two things using the words like or as. Let's look at the example. Anu's eyes sparkled like diamonds. The next is metaphor. Metaphor compares two unrelated objects, typically by stating one thing is another. Now here the example is her home was a prison. Now home and prison, they are not directly related, but here we are saying her home was a prison. So we are not using any extra word. This is a metaphor. Next is alliteration. Repetition of the same letter sound across the start of several words in the same line are known as alliteration. The example here is busy as a bee. So b sound is repeated. The next one is enjambment. In enjambment, there is a stanza where the lines, one of them misses the punctuation and continues like the next line or other lines to follow. We have an example from the play Hamlet. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it's nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. So we don't have a punctuation mark here. The next that comes is personification. As the name says, it's attributing human qualities or characteristics to either animals or other inanimate objects or concepts or abstract ideas. The example here is, the sun kissed me while I was clicking a picture. Now here the inanimate object is the sun and he is kissing. That means animal is been or the object has been given the human trait. And the next one is symbolism. Symbolism is when an object or animal or image, they represent complex ideas or emotions or states of mind beyond its literal meaning. Now the example is a dove. It is used to symbolize peace. Now let's move to the next one, that is hyperbole. It is exaggerating something for emphasis. Thing is described as something extraordinary. Here the example is bottomless sea. Can sea be bottomless? No. The depth is highlighted by this phrase, bottomless sea. Now the next one is idiom, an expression whose meaning is not predictable from the usual meaning of the constituent elements. Example here is raining cats and dogs. Now actually cats and dogs are not raining. It is just to symbolize how fierce the rain is. So we are using the words raining cats and dogs. Now the next one is onomatopoeia. It is use of words that imitate the sound they represent. For example, buzzing bees. So buzzing sound can be heard from the word buzzing. So it is an onomatopoeia. Buzzing bees filled the air. The next one is repetition. It is repeating words, phrases, lines or stanza. Now why do we repeat? For emphasis, for laying stress on something. Here the example is the soup was stirred and thickened. Now it's task time. We have a paragraph for you. You have to identify the figurative speech in this paragraph. And that's all for today. Thank you for joining us. See you in the next video. Happy learning.